So, real talk. Why do we call pickles pickles, but everything else that's pickled isn't called pickles? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why don't we call pickled cucumbers? Because that's what they are, aren't they? Are radishes pickles? Why do we call it pickled radishes? Like, why don't we call it radicals? Alright, so where did we set off from our autosave? Are we recording everything? Yes. How do you feel? Whew, everything felt so surreal. Oh, haven't we already had this conversation? Does he want us to start a new game? Truly important. Surely important information. Correct. The orange text may appear not only in my words, but also occasionally in humans' letters. Oh my god, seriously? Fuck! I wasn't paying attention. Blue text was in the middle, I remember that though. Oh boy, I think it is the third one? See, I knew this was gonna happen. You have to remember the importance of these orange text. As long as you pay attention to them, they will be very helpful. God damn. Son of a bitch. Truly important information. You said truly important information, doggo. Truly important information, I think. These human letters might include text and other colors too, such as yellow and blue. The yellow text highlight digital messages in a text message or an email, while the blue text highlights special messages left in fax or note. The orange text, however, emphasizes something else. I'll explain to you later when we see it. You won't remember it all if I say it too much right now. In the end, you need to remember the orange texts are extremely important. Now, to make sure that you didn't make a lucky guess earlier, we're going to have another quiz. Which of the following phrases were highlighted in orange text in my previous dialogue, and what is their correct order? Blue text is last, I think. Is it? Fuck, I don't remember. Oh, thank God. Yeah, Jesus. Looks like you truly mastered what I taught you so far. Oh, you bet. You are truly my master. Aside from the orange text, in normal mode you will also notice a lot of red text. Red text. If you read those words very carefully, you might find some clues that could help you solve the puzzles. In normal mode, such clues will be highlighted in red. They might help you with your deductions. If you ever find yourself stuck in a puzzle with no idea how to proceed, pay special attention to the red text and you will surely be able to get through them. Well, we don't have that on, so... Alright, it seems like you should be just fine for now, and I can take it easy too then. I believe as you go along with your tasks, you will eventually make the right decisions. Besides, I can see that you have already made a choice. A choice? Yes, I told you at the beginning that handling the prayers from the humans is our job. However, whether or not to help them, and how exactly you want to change their fate is completely up to you. I see that you have chosen an S ending for them all. That means you're choosing the path of absolute kindness. Well, they were asking me for help, so of course I should help them. Are you saying that I should torture them instead? Ha, not necessarily. I just want to remind you that the path of absolute kindness is not an easy one. Especially when you receive letters from two different people, you'll have to make the endings for both sides an S. Simply achieving an S ending for one of them won't be good enough. In other words, you have to solve two people's problems at the same time. I see, well, I'm sure I can find a way. Okay then, by the way, I suppose you don't remember your own name either. Your name is Myth. Myth. You are a god who can manipulate people's fates through stories and puzzles. That's why they call you Myth. You might not know this yet, but you are actually quite popular in the human world. Some of the urban legends that have been circulating are stories about you. Wow, I didn't know I was so impressive. Even though I seem to have forgotten a lot of things and I'm still adapting to all this, I do feel like helping people, and that makes me happy. If I work very hard, I could possibly grant wishes to everyone in the world. Everyone? Well, you'd be buried by all their letters first. However, if you try your best, you should be able to shape the world a little closer to your liking, at the very least. Got it. I'll try my best. Well, from now on, let me know if you have any questions. After all, it's just the two of us here. Okay, doggo. Oh god. Is that us glitching, or is that the actual music glitching? That's our recording actually being a bitch, I think. Let me see what kind of letters we're getting today. Well, let me say first, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I don't have to put up with the grumpy doggo all over again. Looks like we got a lot more people happening. Oh my god, we got a lot of letters. Okay. First day. Please, Buddha. Okay, well, who should we start with here? Li Wen thinks she's gonna get murdered by a serial killer. She's connected to this guy. These two connected? Yeah. Bugger. So do we want to do 2 new people to start with? I don't think so. Let's do these 2 first. And then we'll do the 2 strangers. My new partner. This problem was so difficult. I started at the test and it looked like some kind of ancient curse torturing my fragile mind. A box of chocolate milk suddenly appeared on my desk. My favorite. I opened it up and started drinking it. It was delicious. Li Wen, what are you doing during an exam? Thud. Mrs. Yang pounded her fist on my desk. My eyes went wide. There was no test. No Mrs. Yang. Not even my favorite drink, chocolate milk. I was lying in my own bed, still wearing the t-shirt I had put on for tennis last night. How had I fallen asleep like this? Suddenly, I remembered that I had found some strange things at my door last night. I carefully opened and unlocked and looked outside. There was nothing. Was it all just a dream? In any case, what time was it? I checked the clock on the wall. It was 10 past 9. I rushed to school as fast as possible. The second period had just begun. It was tennis class today. Our school was famous for its emphasis on so-called quality education, which meant that unlike other schools, we had classes in stuff like tennis, art, and so on, even for the senior students, so that they could get some exercise and release some of the stress from home or schoolwork. Not many seniors enrolled in these classes though. Everyone had bet their whole lives on becoming the Gaogako, the National Higher Education Entrance Examination. Gaogako, aka is an annually held national exam in mainland China. All high school seniors and other people at similar academic levels take the exam as an entrance selection process. These exams are held every year from June 7th to 9th, typically including 3 mandatory subjects: literature, math, and English, along with another choice between liberal arts, civics, history, geography, and engineering. The modern Gaokao, or Gaokao, I guess we'll call it Gaokao, was first held in 1977 with 5.7 million participants and a 5% exception rate. By 2017, the total number of participants has increased to 9.4 billion and the acceptance rate is 85%. That's significantly better. Nevertheless, it is still very hard to be admitted into top universities. In Chinese culture, going to a good college could change one's fate. While not entirely correct, it still dominates the mind of numerous students and their parents. In order to get better grades, even when sick, sometimes there are reports about students who keep studying with an IV attached. Many top high schools in each individual province have also been known to come up with extraordinary strategies in order to send their students into the top 2 universities in China. For example, the Hangshu High School in Hebei province is infamous for its military-style school administration, and the most well-known super school, Gaokao Sweat Factory in China, after the fall of its predecessor, something in... So, it's an important test. However, I still had no idea what I wanted to do in the future, nor what major I would be interested in. I suppose I would just go with the flow. I carried the racket under my arm and ran onto the tennis court. I would usually just do some hitting practice during the class, but today I was here with a purpose. Last time I had accidentally hit that knucklehead Rocky from class 3 when I had been practicing my serve. He insisted that I had done it on purpose and challenged me to settle the score. What kind of obsessive, obnoxious man was this? Well, today was the start of our duel. I agreed to his proposal with 30 boxes of chocolate milk as the wager. My favorite. We would play a double match for 1 set and we got to pick a partner for the opponent. I picked Wang Chang, I guess, as Rocky's partner first. He was probably the weakest out of all the people present today. My darling chocolate milk, here I come. Rocky pointed to someone behind me. You'll partner with him then. I turned around and saw someone who was looking petrified, someone whom I had never met. The stranger introduced himself as Jimmy. He said he had transferred from Hong Kong today. Huh, a transfer student in the last semester of senior year, and from Hong Kong no less. That was peculiar. Peculiar. I can't pronounce this. That was peculiar. God damn it. Okay, we'll just leave it. Never mind. I needed to win my chocolate milk first. Since he had enrolled in the class, he could be really good. Maybe this would be my lucky day. Just 1 game later, I realized I had been kidding myself. That sneaky Rocky. He must have known this guy didn't know how to play at all. Wang Chang might only be a 2.0, but that would make Jimmy a 0.2. He barely even knew how to hold a racket. No matter. For my precious chocolate milk, I would have to do it alone then. Half an hour later, we were at the tiebreaker. I know what that is. A 12-point tiebreak game is played when a set is 6-6. In the additional game, points are counted using ordinary numbering. The player who reaches 7 points, but also has 2 points more than the opponent, wins the game. That's right. The score was 7-8. Their match point. If I could win this next point, I still had a chance. Otherwise, I would have to go buy chocolate milk myself at 7-Eleven. I was standing in the right side in the back. My hat was soaking wet and sweat was dripping down my ponytail onto my t-shirt. Jimmy was standing on the left at the net and I could see he was sweating through the back of his shirt too. Here came the ball. I aimed at the center of the back court to my left. I squeezed the racket in my hand. A sudden twist of my ankle. Swing. I fell to the ground and completely mishit the ball. Even worse, it went straight into the back of Jimmy's head. Jimmy fainted. Oh no, did I just give him a concussion? But I clearly remembered that he was standing much further left, wasn't he? Lee Wen. And now we get to read Jimmy. Classy guy. My name is Jimmy. Today was my first day at Yingnan High School as a senior. I had flown from Hong Kong to Beijing only a few days ago. On my first night here, my suitcase, which held my laptop, still hadn't arrived at the hotel. I was bored out of my mind and decided to go down to the arcade to kill some time. There, I saw a girl with long hair. She had come in the arcade with a basket of tennis balls and she was sweating from head to toe. She wanted to get the Sir Spotty doll from the claw machine. I wanted to get it too, but earlier there had been a couple hogging the machine for a long time. Throughout my childhood, my father would always buy me anything I wanted. It was usually Game Boys, computers, and stuff like that, nothing outrageous. So I never really understood the feeling of wanting something so bad but not being able to get it. I looked at her from far away. I watched her fail and keep trying over and over again. Her expression looked so funny and so cute. I felt a strange urge. I had gone to an all-boys school in Hong Kong and I wasn't someone who liked to go out that much, so I had never really met many girls at all, and I had never learned how to pick up girls. But today felt different. I really thought she was extremely cute, and I had a special feeling about her that I didn't really understand myself. I didn't want to miss the chance of getting to know her. I mustered all of my courage and decided to get her attention. I wrote down my email address on a piece of paper, and then I bought a drink and quietly left the cup on the counter of the claw machine with a note under the cup. Now I just needed to wait for her response. The first night I didn't get an email. It must have been too late. She would write me back the next day, I thought. The second day all I got was junk mail. The third day, maybe she had lost the note by accident. Maybe she had washed it in her laundry. Maybe I could find out what her email address was instead. All I needed to do was hack into the cashier system of the arcade and I could get the information on all the customers who had paid for tokens using mobile banking. And I could get more than just their email addresses, like their real addresses and bank accounts. So I did it. I mustered all my courage again and wrote her an email. Yet, maybe she didn't really use her email. I had told my father that I wanted to transfer to this school. It didn't really matter to him, and the school happened to be quite good too, so he agreed almost immediately. If he had known the truth, he would have slapped me in the face and called me a disgrace. He had also found out that I found out she liked playing tennis, so I bought myself a racket immediately. I even finished reading all 42 volumes of the manga series The Kid of Tennis. Kid of Tennis is a Japanese anime comedy series centered around tennis-playing teenagers. The series received wide critical acclaim as soon as it was debuted in Japan, and also broke many rating records in Hong Kong, Taiwan, and other Southeast Asian countries. The hero of the series, Kido no Raku, grows up in an extremely wealthy family, yet he has never had any luck with girls in school, and he is too introverted. However, his life changes forever when one of his high school classmates and the girl in his dream, Mizukawa Roko, casually asks him, "Do you like tennis?" He makes up his mind and joins the school tennis team to become a great tennis player so that he could impress her and win her over. The unique art style and positive spirit of the series have influenced generations of young people, and the series has since become a classic. Many kids have grown up idolizing Kido no Raku, thinking they could attract the attention of their secret crushes by becoming good at tennis. More importantly, the vast majority of them eventually learn an invaluable lesson that everything in an anime series is simply a lie. Holy shit, so he read the whole thing. But I would have never thought that I would get the chance to partner up with her in doubles match on my first day at new school. And I had also never realized that everything in manga was a lie. The only time I even touched the ball It hit the referee. Oh crap, I suck so bad. She must hate me now. We were now in a tiebreaker for the match. I had read about this in the manga. Basically, it was a quick way to decide the winner when both sides had evenly matched. If it wasn't for me, she would have already won easily. The ball was coming again. It was a fast one, and it was flying towards my right side. I was so nervous that my hand was shaking uncontrollably. I tried my best to hold the racket as steady as I could. I took a step to the right. I rushed forward. I took a step to the right almost out of instinct, but I still let the ball pass. Even if I tried to hit it, it would never go in. From behind me, I heard her hitting the ball. Good job. Before I could finish my thoughts, a sudden shock of numbness and pain was coming from the back of my head, and I completely blacked out. I was in the infirmary when I woke up. It was already noon. I looked around. There was no one else in the room but the school nurse. Oh, Jimmy, what were you thinking was going to happen? Jimmy. Alright. Let's try to figure this out. Oh great, it's a directional problem. I thought it was going to deal with like the point system here. What if we did this? Let's try this. Well, then we have this card that I don't know what to do with here. I rush forward, sudden twist of my ankle, swing. Let's give it a shot, just see what happens. I swung my racket with my eyes closed. Oh god. The ball flew over the baseline. It was out. Sigh. I did overestimate myself. The match was over. Ugh, she must be mad at me now. Jimmy took a swing at the ball. The ball flew out of the baseline. Out. Huh. 7-9. We lost. I lost. Ugh, my precious 30 boxes of chocolate milk. Damn it! Is there like health on this thing? I don't know if there is. Should I be like concerned? There's one more thing that could help with your work. That's history. History? That sounds like something I can use to review all of my endings that I have unlocked, right? Smart girl. Every ending you have come across is archived there. When you run into something that's too complicated, try referring to the history for inspiration. Oh, one more thing. I have another small tip to tell you about the history archives. In here, we can browse all the possible endings to a letter. They are displayed on the right. Furthermore, they are arranged in the same order as the small squares you see when you open the letter. They are arranged in this order: S, A, B, C, D, E, F, X. Okay. The ending with the one small I is the one you're currently viewing. I see. I think this could help with my deductions too. Exactly. As for how you want to use it, that's totally up to you. Alright, so we fucked it up. That's okay. I really want to help this guy out, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to hit it. What happens then? The ball flew past me. Okay, that's good. I was expecting to hear her hitting the ball, but I heard nothing. I turned around and saw her sitting on the ground, hunched over. Did she just get hit by the ball? People were already gathering around. Someone mentioned the infirmary. I suppose someone should take her there any moment now. Honestly, I wish that someone could be me. Our teacher walked over. You, take her to the infirmary. Wait, was he speaking to me? Oh my gosh, the goddess of fortune must have heard my wish. The ball was to my left, but I was stumbling to my right. Not only did I not hit the ball, I even lost my racket, and for some reason, my stomach suddenly started hurting. Why? Well, was it because I hadn't had time for breakfast this morning? 7 to 9. We lost, I lost. I took 2 pills in the infirmary and felt a little better. I lay down on the bed. Everything around me was white, and it made me feel sleepy. Jimmy said he wanted to keep me company, so he was sitting beside my bed. I thought maybe I should talk to him a little so that he would feel less awkward. However, I think I was too exhausted and I fell asleep. Shit. Bad for her, decent for him. Gosh, what do these people want from me? Well, damn, I'm stumped on that one. I don't understand. It doesn't really make sense to me for whatever reason. I'll come back to that one. We'll move on to these other guys, though, and see what's up with them. 20,000 pesos. I'm not going to do the accent. My name is Carlos. I'm 18 years old. It was a big day because I was finally going to leave Mexico. Uncle Depp, who had always helped out at the orphanage, and Aunt Benita, who was the matron of the orphanage, used to tell me that if I ever wanted to go to a foreign country, I needed to have a passport first. And then I would need a visa. Finally, I could go to the airport and buy a ticket. Then I could fly to wherever I wanted to go. I had gotten my passport, and apparently going to Hong Kong didn't require a visa. All I needed was a plane ticket. Uncle Depp and I headed out this morning before the sun even came out. He had been driving me through the mountains for 6 hours to get to the international airport. He then stuffed a couple of warm burritos wrapped up in paper into my backpack before I said goodbye. I didn't know when I would ever see him again. I already missed him. I walked into the airport and I couldn't help slowing down in admiration. The place was so big. No wonder the tickets were so expensive. I needed to ask someone to tell me where I could buy a ticket. I bumped into another man. The 3 boxes he was carrying all fell to the ground. I helped him pick up the boxes and stack them. I hoped nothing inside got broken. The man was wearing a pair of glasses with golden frames. He seemed like a nice person. He took the boxes out of my hands and was not mad at me at all. He just nodded and walked away. He was really nice. Even though there were signs in the airport, I couldn't read many of them. I walked around twice before I found the ticket counters. A ticket cost over 10,000 pesos, just like Uncle Depp had told me. I had all of my savings with me, including the money my parents and sister had left me, as well as what I had earned doing part-time jobs. It was a little over 20,000 pesos altogether. However, something terrible had happened. I couldn't find my wallet anywhere. I clearly remember checking to make sure I had it when I left. Maybe I had dropped it in Uncle Depp's car. I ran outside of the airport. I saw the man whom I had bumped into earlier. He was still wandering around with those boxes. Was he lost? But I didn't have time to worry about him. I had to go check and see if Uncle Depp had already left. But I couldn't find him anywhere outside the airport. He was probably had headed back. I had to walk towards the mountains along the road that we had arrived on. I had my backpack on, feeling awful. It wasn't a popular road, and it was already too late. There was no other cars in sight. I had hoped that I could get a ride tomorrow morning. Lord, why am I so unlucky? What is Mexico? It is a big country in the west. West? To our west? Do we live in the east? Oh, no, of course not. We don't live in their world, so there is no east or west to anywhere. The Earth is a round planet, so east or west is all relative. Relative? You're not making any sense. Do you mean that the Mexican people would say their country is in the west too? Now she's confusing me too. Oh, by the way, the writers of the earlier letters, are they from China? I always feel a strange sense of closeness when I think of China. Mexico feels more distant to me. Why is that? Well, maybe it's just because there are more people who wrote to us from China. I hear that Chinese people are all over the earth. There are a lot of them in every country. Really? So is this letter written by a Chinese too, as well as the earlier ones? Because they all look the same to me. Oh no, this is our language. In fact, the people who wrote to us came from many different countries and they would use different languages. But once we received them, they are all automatically translated into a language that we can understand. Oh wow, being a god is so convenient. Carlos. Okay, Carlos, who is your friend? Chang Gaon Min, and I recently graduated from the Korean Police Academy. I'm 23 years old. It was my first day reporting to the Busan Police Precinct, but I hadn't realized that I had overslept until my Sir's body alarm clock had gone off for the 10th time. I jumped out of bed, slipped into my pants and shirt, and rushed out the door with a coat in my hand. I even knocked over my neighbor's flowers by accident. Sorry! I'll clean it up later. I'm running late. Still, I was 45 minutes late when I finally got to the station. The captain was sitting behind the desk. He squeezed a "kids these days" out of his mouth, and then he seemed to lose any energy or interest to even speak to me. Then I was transferred to the archives. As computers and internet become prevalent in our daily lives, important data such as identity and residence information have all been turned into electronic records in police database. The ability to quickly retrieve necessary information from an infinite ocean of data is crucial quality of being a responsible police officer, especially when dealing with time-sensitive criminal cases. Postscript, do not stick your password under the desk. How could I have overslept on my first day? Please, Buddha. Please help me fix this. Please, please. Becoming a member of the Criminal Investigation Department has been my dream growing up. I don't want to go to the archives. What is a criminal investigation? Is it that much better than the archives? Well, criminal investigation is the place where the police try to solve cases and catch bad guys, but you can't completely disregard the archives either. Okay. Well, there's only like one option here, really. Isn't there? Yeah. So I'm guessing the man that this guy bumped into stole his wallet. What happens if our police guy bumps into somebody? I suppose we'll see, won't we? I noticed there was a sign ahead. Although I couldn't read it, I had a feeling that it must be pointing to the ticket counters. I'd always had great instincts, haha. A ticket cost over 10,000 pesos, just like Uncle Deb had told me. I had all my savings with me, including the money my parents and sister had left me, as well as doing part-time jobs. Yeah. I hoped I would be able to come back someday. 3 hours later, with a booming noise, the airplane took off. So yeah, the guy with the boxes must have robbed our friend here. I felt something suddenly pushing me into the seat cushion. I could see Mexico City becoming smaller and smaller outside of the window. And the orphanage in Monte Toloc, I guess, had turned into a small white dot. I suddenly started to feel nervous. What if the plane went down? I hoped it would fall in the ocean so I could swim back, but the seatbelt thing was so annoying. If I couldn't untie it, I would be dragged into the water with the plane. I heard there was something called insurance that would pay a lot of money if someone died. Maybe it would be good enough for Alicia to buy a new home in Mexico City. Just then, when my brain was spinning with all these questions, a beautiful lady asked if I'd like some water. Oh, no. I checked my wallet again. There was a little over 10,000 pesos left. The peso is a currency which is common in countries and regions of former Spanish colonies. The most widely circulated one right now is the Mexican peso, coded MXN. In addition, there are also Cuban pesos, cup, Philippine pesos, PHP. Since the Mexican peso is not considered a world currency in some regions around the world, It has to be exchanged into US dollar before being exchanged into the currency of a third country. From now on, I must be careful about spending every single one of them. I heard everything was really expensive in Hong Kong. I must save up before I find Alicia. Alicia, sister, I'm coming to find you. The Lord will bless us. I heard the voice of a woman screaming in the crowd. Stop him! He's got my purse! I looked down, and the man I had bumped into was holding a woman's purse. He actually tried pushing me away. As a policeman defending justice, how could I let a criminal escape the judgment of the law? I grabbed his collar. Take this! I took the bastard to the police station. I ended up late, of course, but the captain let me off the hook for stopping the robber. Captain Gong glanced at the bloodstains on my shirt, gave a faint smile, and asked me why I wanted to become a police officer. I stood up straight, put my hands behind my back, and held my head high, and firmly replied, "To defend justice." The captain scratched his balding head and smiled. Ha! Go report to Unit 4 then. What? Unit 4? I felt my heart suddenly sinking. I heard so many rumors about Unit 4, even when I was still in the police academy. Hey, we did it! It was literally the easiest puzzle. Oh, we got new mail. Nice. Well, I think I'm gonna leave this episode here. I'm gonna mull over our Lee Wen Jimmy tennis puzzle. It's kind of a pain in the ass. And I'll figure it out in the next episode. So thank you everybody for watching. If you're watching this, don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.